What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about the Prince of Persia remake, Sands of Time. Now, look, I'm going to start it off very, very simple by just saying, don't take the thumbnail, don't take the title too seriously. If you are a huge fan of it and you're going to attack me and say, oh my god, he's only going after the negatives, this video is very much intended to be looking at all sides of this remake while also focusing on, I think, the most obvious thing. I don't think, by the way, it's unfair to talk about the visuals of this game. I think two things happened on the internet yesterday when this was announced. One was excitement and joy and thank God and stuff like that from even myself. I said that, where it's like, okay, finally we have this. I'm not, and I've said it before, I'm not the biggest Prince of Persia fan, but considering I've gone through this journey for months now on this channel, on my second channel, considering I've gone through this journey for months on this game, I feel like I'm part of the group. Now, I'm not gonna pretend that I'm exactly a person that's been following this thing from the beginning or has been a fan for decades, but I'm very excited for this, and I can tell you right now, this is a day one buy. This is a game that I want. There's really no other way of me making that clear. And there are some positives. The bringing back the original voice actor, having new animations, them doing brand new things with it, and it is better looking. There's no doubt about it. It's better looking. But here, again, not to be, there's no way you can really look past this. The game looks rough for a remake, and maybe it's because we've gone through, over the last several, I'd say even months, you could even say months, but even this past year, 2020, we've had some next level remakes or even remasters, to be quite honest with you, and this one just doesn't seem right. And there's a couple things I do want to focus on too. Firstly, I feel like this thing has been delayed because all the stuff that I've seen about it, now I'm not claiming to be a leaker, but all the stuff that I've seen about it was supposed to release this fall. Now, January 21st, 2021 does not sound like this fall to me, so clearly, in my opinion, this game was supposed to come out this fall. It was pushed. Now, you could say, well, they already have enough on their plate. They got in fact, they have a game every single month. They have Watch Dogs, they have Assassin's Creed, they have Immortal, they have this game, and then they have Far Cry. 5 months back to back, all that time, they're going to have a new game. That's actually very solid for Ubisoft. So maybe I'm wrong, but I do feel like it's been delayed. Secondly, again, we've had, just over the last 6 months, we've had Final Fantasy VII's Remake, which is my favorite game this year, is my game of the year by a long mile. Now, it's unfair to compare anything visually, in my opinion, to that game because the visuals of that game, firstly, just get me, but secondly, I mean, come on. Honestly, come on. The game is pretty much 80% cutscenes anyway, but the game is visually insane, okay? Nobody's going to compete with that. That's fine. But we've even had games like SpongeBob. We've had games like Destroy All Humans, and we're about a week and a half away or 2 weeks away from getting Mafia, which looks real, and that's a 2002 game. This game's 2003. This game, Mafia, the definitive edition, looks absolutely insane. And maybe it's because I'm a big fan of that. Maybe it's because I've covered that, quite often in videos here. Maybe that's why I'm being a little harder on Prince of Persia, because again, it does look better. There's no doubt about it. But does it look like a 2020 slash, now early 2021? Does it look like a 2021 or 2020 remake of a game? No. I mean, I just flat out do not think it holds up. Now, the art style of Prince of Persia has always been different. So, again, it's unfair to say, because, I don't know, just the shading of the characters and all that stuff. I get it. I get that they can't make it insanely realistic. There is there's an art style to Prince of Persia that had made it special, and you're not going to, all of a sudden change it in a remake, right? You got to keep the base life of the game alive. So I get that, but again, we've just been having all of these different remakes over the past little while, even for the past several years. You look at Shadow of the Colossus, lots of other ones too, Spyro, Crash, all of these. They've been absolutely outstanding. Now, I'm not saying that this isn't going to be outstanding. The trailer's awesome. The trailer almost, I would say, gave me chills. I am so ready to experience that story. I'm so ready to play Prince of Persia now. I haven't played Prince of Persia in decades, so I'm very, very pumped. I'm not trying to hide that, and that's why, again, I'm saying I think one of the things that does make me kind of special, not to gloat or anything, but is because I try to give both sides a chance. I try to give both sides a look, and oftentimes because I recognize both sides, I end up thinking like both sides. And for Prince of Persia, I think it's a classic example. If you're mad at it because it looks terrible, I'm not going to disagree because I don't think it looks like a 2020 remake. I think it looks, honestly, people said it looks like a PS3, Xbox 360 era game. Yeah, it does. It absolutely does. There's really no way around that. Again, does it look better than the original? Yes. Will I still play it regardless? Yeah. I mean, that's just going to happen. And I think that, by the way, something to note, and I think people will probably note this in the comments, visuals are not everything. So even though it may look bad, if it plays good, if the story is good, which, by the way, spoilers, like this game has already existed, so we should know. And they're changing some things. One final thing is the team that's making this game has never led a project before. So I'm not going to blame them. I'm not going to say it's because of them. I'm also going to say, like, that's cool, and the Indian team that they're doing, like, I like it. I like that they're being very, I guess, aware of Prince of Persia's lineage, and they're being very respectful, and they're doing lots of things like that. Awesome. I have nothing against that. And I'm not saying, like, oh my god, it's this team's fault. Bottom line is, well, two things. One, it's the team's first time leading it. And secondly, they flat out admitted, and I think the trailer, that towards the end when the people were talking, that this is the very first Ubisoft remake they've ever done, and they're going to be learning from this remake. So that is telling in that maybe they don't fully know what they're doing, and they're going to be listening to what we say. I have seen people out there, even like insiders, like leakers, I have seen them say that they do not believe that there was a lot of budget put into this, that Ubisoft didn't put a lot into this. So that kind of sucks. That makes me a little worried for like a Splinter Cell game where it's like, well, don't start treating these for, like, if you're going to, and I've said this before, if you're going to give us these, same thing with Mass Effect. Now, Mass Effect is EA, but don't give us a Mass Effect remaster if it's, like, literally just a port. You know what I mean? Then just port it, and then don't even put a lot of effort, because you're not going to put a lot of effort into it, so then just don't even put a lot of effort into telling us about it. Just say, hey, it's out, that's it. So, obviously, Prince of Persia is different, and this game is different, but you know what I mean? If they're going to do it, and I've seen people say this, if they're going to do it, I would prefer them to just go all in. Give us just a quality that we've kind of been expecting over this last year. Prince of Persia doesn't look up to that at the same time. But again, looking at the positives, I do tend to look on the positives. I'm still excited. I think this game is going to sell pretty darn well. The best case scenario, and I will talk about this in the future too, the thing we all have to know is that supporting this game is important, because you support this game, you get a new Prince of Persia. I think that's just like Splinter Cell. I think that's generally how it's going to work. The only way to get a brand new Prince of Persia game, which I think they could have done, I don't think they had to actually do a remake, but it seems like that, again, you can kind of see the writing on the walls. Ubisoft probably said, all right, team that's never done this before, we're going to give them it. We're not going to give you the biggest budget. Remake the game. It's not going to be to the level of top tier remakes, but it'll be decent. If the game sells well, then we're going to make a brand new game, but we're not going to put all this money into a new game and we don't know if people still like it anymore. I feel like that seems to be the plan, right? And so we have to prove to them that, well, hey, we're not okay with subpar video games, even if it's a remake of a game. We're not okay with a subpar remake, but we will support it because we love this franchise and we love the game and we want more. So please listen, Ubisoft. And I think that's generally what's going to happen. So guys, let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Do you think this game looks pretty rough around the edges? Are you very excited? Can you be both like I am? Let me know. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this YouTube channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. And there's a lot of Ubisoft games coming before Prince of Persia, but I will for sure be covering this game, be playing it, doing all sorts of stuff with it. And so I hope to see you guys on those videos.